I think we got differing opinions at this table. So Jermaine Dupri was asked how does he feel about women hip hop and who's the queen of hip hop specifically. He was given Meg, Cardi, Nicki as options. And he said that they were stripper rap. And it sparked some outrage in our culture, especially with our women. So fellas, how do you not how do you, but what do you think about his comments? Do you agree? Do you disagree? I'm gonna start with you, Ren.
Of course. Is it stripper music? I mean, it depends on why you go to the strip club, right? So are you going, because you want to see women, bounce, or you going for the music? I mean,
the wings, man.
Yeah. I mean, the tits and grits is pretty good at 2 a.m. It's a good spread. But I mean, there's I know, double entendre there. No, but it's really based on, I mean, if people are rapping about what they know and that's what they know, then that's what they're going to rap about, right? No more than if a drug dealer understands the drug game, that's what he's going to rap about. So if it's not pleasing to you, don't listen to it. It's just that simple. I mean, that's the great thing about entertainment. You can, whatever entertains you, you can listen to. And the market bears it out, right? More than 50% of the population of women, if they dig it, they're going to listen to it. So you can listen to it without ever really having to have a man ever listen to it and still get paid. So, I mean, having an opinion about it, as a producer, it's like, I mean, Jermaine Dupri, do you remember some of the music that you were playing? I mean, just because Escape were wearing, cargo pants and stuff like that doesn't mean that necessarily the lyrics were certain. Or you listen to Missy Elliott. I mean, she's one of the nastiest people ever in rap music. She just ain't sexy. So it's really like, it's not just the lyrics themselves. It's just who is singing it and what's pleasing or not to the eye.
He's not all the way wrong, but I wish he would just shut the hell up. This is a prime example of somebody whose time has passed and he's just hating on the youth. Prime example. And I think he's simply just trying to stay relevant. I don't know if he's promoting anything. I don't know if he has anything in the works, but I think he's just simply trying to stay relative.
Mm-hmm. And we're talking about him.
And exactly. And I just think it needs to, now, in the way that he worded it, he didn't say some of the heavy hitters out there. He didn't say this particular female rapper, that particular. He said all of it.
Yeah.
He encompassed it into all of women female rap. And we all know that there's a lot of female rappers out there that aren't doing stripper music. So again, I think it was a hot take just to get him relevant so that he can do whatever promotion that he's doing. I just wish he'd shut up.
I mean, but he's not talking about the artists. He's talking about the fans. Right, because if the fans were not interested in it, then he would never even talk about it.
And I beg to differ because I do. I know quite a few teenagers when I'm out and whatnot. There's a lot of teenagers who listen to the music and they love. They'll tell you they actually hate the music. They rock with it because it's the only thing that's out there. It's the only thing that's getting pushed.
The new stuff.
I really don't agree with that. I mean,
I've heard it enough times.
I mean, the internet is the great equalizer.
But if it's not getting promoted, then how do you know to go look for it?
But listen, let me say this, man. I'm gonna say something that might shock y'all. Jermaine Dupri was right, and Cardi B was right. Let me explain why. Now, in context. I did not know Jermaine Dupri made such a broad statement about, just female rappers in general. But if we're talking about Meg, Cardi, Nicki, it sounds like strippers making music. It does. It's hard to deny that. Now, I'm going to say this. Cardi B came back and said, I rap about this. I rap about my bleep because it's my best friend. But more importantly, she said, when I made this other song rapping about something, y'all didn't listen to it.
No, it was a whole album.
Yeah.
It was a whole album.
But
and I don't know the name of the album because I don't buy Cardi's music.
You ain't gonna get me to listen to it. But anyway, but that's understated. When I rap this way, y'all didn't listen to it. So the onus, is it really on the MCs or is it on the public?
Well, let me ask you this though. Let's say let's relate this to basketball because this is primarily a sports podcast, right? If you're watching basketball and you're used to watching games get up into the 110s, 115s, 120s every single night.
Right.
And then all of a sudden the next night, you watch a game where the score is like 88-90, you're gonna feel some type of way. Oh, this is an ugly basketball game.
90s ball.
Even though it's good basketball because there's obviously some defense being played, it's an anomaly. Now, if we continue to see that good defensive basketball being played, eventually we'll come to accept it. And with Cardi B, I don't think that album did bad simply because it was different, but more so because it was an anomaly of what she normally does.
I don't think her album did bad. I just think that single didn't chart like they wanted to because her album's like triple platinum.
Let me say this too, man. There's a deeper discussion. I think there's a way deeper discussion with this topic, and that we haven't talked about what record labels do.
Yeah. I'm glad
you know what I'm saying. If we're speaking particularly in mainstream music, let's cut out the internet, let's cut out the underground, let's cut all that out. Let's talk about radio, TV, mass media, whatever. You know what I'm saying? What's the record company? What are the record labels doing promoting this stuff? Because let me tell y'all something. Radio and media, they can make whatever they want cool, they can make it cool.
Agreed.
Media and record companies have made Meg, Cardi, Nicki, they've made that into the mainstream, and they've made that what people are used to listening to now. And that's not talked about enough. So that's why I say everybody was right. Jermaine Dupri was right.
Yeah.
And Cardi B was right.
So let me ask you a question. So Little Kim was rapping about her goodies.
I hated it then.
Foxy Brown was rapping about hot spots and all the other stuff. Has it really changed? I mean, look, listen. There has always been some type of variety in women's rap. There's always been some type. You got the Queen Latifah.
But you just made your point. I'm gonna explain why. You actually just answered your own question because here I go sounding like the old guy again. But back in the 90s, that's what was so beautiful about hip hop. You could turn on Rap City and you can see Queen Latifah on the same lineup as Little Kim, as Foxy Brown. You can see Bahamadia. I know you don't know about that. You can see Bahamadia on the same lineup as whoever else. It was that variety, and radio and media was pushing everything. So everybody had what they ultimately wanted. Mass media is not the same as it is now.
See this?
I come on, man.
This is what age is showing. Nobody's watching Rap City and BET no more.
But you're missing the point, though. But you're missing the point.
What he's saying is the people who are pushing the music, they're only pushing one style.
That's what I'm saying. We're not talking about Rap City in particular. I'm talking about what is being pushed.
I mean, because I'm looking at the double XL cover. There's 3 or 4 women on there, and only one is classified as a stripper rapper. I mean, is that legit to say?
Well, who are the 3 rappers you're talking about?
There's Tierra Whack.
Okay.
I forgot.
Dope, by the way.
I forgot the other ladies.
Okay,
I forgot the other girls.
Yeah, and I wasn't trying to put you on the spot.
But she's the only stripper rapper. I mean, they're pushing other type of lady rappers.
But I mean, I guess my ultimate question would be, or statement would be, so like you said, I mean, there was Trina. Back in the day, but Luke was making stripper music, right? So is it? Is this about gender? Is it about interest? Is it about taste? Because you said you had Little Kim, you had Fox Brown, you had all the women, and then you had Lauryn Hill,
right?
Who was spitting. It was probably one of the best rappers, period, of all time as a lyricist.
And her album did better than
everybody's, right? She's a phenomenon. So people ultimately their ears are going to take them, where they want to go. And if they're popular for a reason.
And I think that should be another criticism to Jermaine Dupri because of what he did with So Def back in the 90s. For him to be out here criticizing all these women in general, why are you not pushing some of these other female rappers who aren't doing the stripper rap?
You know what? I can make the corollary to politics. Right. So if you take like an older politician, like a Joe Biden or Bernie Sanders or something like that, and they're they still espousing these old things, and the new people are like, yo, man, you got the hell out the paint.
Right.
This is a new era. This is a new day. You had your time, but they're like, no. You need to understand the way I feel about the world now should be the way you feel about the world now. And that's basically what Jermaine Dupri is doing. He's saying it as a pejorative, like, stripping does not necessarily have to be a bad thing, right? We've been doing this from Jump Street,
eons,
right? Rock music been making stripper music way before hip hop even thought about it, right? So it's really about somebody who's like, all right, I'm in my 40s or 50s now. I'm thinking about something that's different. I have an opinion. My name has credibility, so you'll take me more seriously than another guy who would say it. I mean, and the music is what it is. As a matter of fact, I have more respect for people who have 4 or 5 million records now because you're buying it digitally, which means you can't lose it. Think about when we were going to Sam Goody or whatever, and we had to buy a CD and then we lost it or scratched and we had to buy it again, which was artificially inflating numbers.
Right.
That doesn't happen anymore. So if you're a female rapper selling 3, 4, 5 million albums, man, that's pretty dope. Like, the public speaks and your album sales speak for you, regardless of what you're saying. If people didn't like it, they wouldn't buy it. Simply.
There it is.
Gotcha.